And now, here's your host of Shaping Success, Wes Tankersley.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to Shaping Success Morning Coffee. Back again, Thursday edition. Episode 10, maybe? I don't know. I mean, we get into this and I start putting down these episodes and I start thinking about what the heck number it is and whatever. It is what it is. We're doing it. Here we go. It is the 11th day of January. And it is crazy to see how fast this is going. It's nuts. If you guys want to go join over on YouTube, you can. Episode 9, I guess. What is going on? Michael Scott over in TikTok. Donana, Nikki here on YouTube. You guys can go join me on YouTube. You can get in the conversation. I do go live on TikTok just so you guys can hear this. But until after the show, most of the time is spent on YouTube because, well, I'm running my mouth and I have got to concentrate, although I get distracted sometimes. So yesterday was Wednesday. Wednesday is kind of a busy day for me as far as things go. We do the podcast with Robert Watson. We're going through his book. We're in chapter 2, Blind. That thing will be coming out shortly in the beginning of February, but we're talking about going through. And yesterday was a good one because we were talking about like being blind to what is going on and how we sometimes don't see what's right in front of us because we're too busy looking at all the interference of what's going on. A good example of this is the media right now where they try to throw all this interference. And I had 2 conversations with people yesterday. I'm not a political person, you know. I have my own beliefs and I believe in certain things that they're doing. And it's funny how if you believe the media, like I feel like the media is just freaking crazy. It's like if you believe what you see on TV, you're crazy because nothing is true. I mean, there's a truth, but you have to find the truth on your own. You have to look through what one side is saying, then you have to look through what the other side is saying. And lo and behold, it's really convenient right now. You see gas prices going down. Now the interest rates are dropping. Well, what's going on? There's an election coming up. Someone's got to look like they did something. And it's not one side or the other. It's the way it is every single time. But they'll tell you the economy's great, the economy's bad, the blah, blah this, the blah, blah that. And that's the same thing in life. And in his book, he was talking about how he was standing next to the Berlin Wall, which the Berlin Wall was a big thing back then, but they were basically designed to keep people in where they were at, and people thought it was a really bad thing. Like, it was a bad thing, right? But what was funny about it was they weren't going to blow up the world for people doing it, but that's what everyone was doing. It's this propaganda thing, and it's amazing how no matter what side you're on, you just have to sift through the bullshit to figure out what really is actually going on, as Nikki said over here on YouTube. So that's beside the point, but that was what we talked about yesterday, just being blind to the fact that there are a lot of things going on that we don't see, we don't know about, we don't pay attention to, and we let other things from the outside direct our attention, and that's what they're doing, is throwing interference from no matter what direction you're on. It's crazy. Anyway, yesterday we did that. Then we had the motivational music hour, which Nikki and I do every single Wednesday, which was really fun. You know, we get to listen to music, talk about the songs, how they motivate us, how they make us better. Because music is a great motivator for me. And then we did One Drink Wednesday. So that's kind of a big deal for me. Wednesday is kind of like that deal. Every other Wednesday we do the motivational music hour, but the podcast is every single day. Except for, well, I mean, every weekday. Because I got to take some time off. I get tired. But we were listening to a song on the motivational music hour. And sometimes we'll be saying stuff and we'll be talking about things and I'll write things down. And we had a song called Grab the Bull by the Horns. And then I started to think about it. How there's a lot of times where we're afraid to go out there and do something. And that term, grab the bull by the horns, means just do it, right? It's almost like a Nike thing, where you're going to go out and you just have to, become the bull. You know, be the person who is going. Yeah, that's what it's called. Become the Bull by Beartooth. Beartooth, great band. But that's where it comes to. Like we a lot of times will sit back waiting for something to happen, and we won't go take that step to do it. And we got to grab the bull by the horns. What's stopping you from doing that? What's stopping you from achieving those dreams and those goals and those desires is the fact that you're afraid to grab the bull by the horns. So where did it come from? Why do we do it? Why should we do it? And I don't know. I just think there's a lot of things that stop us. We have outside barriers. Number one is going to be ourselves, because we are the biggest problem that we have. We are Jennifer Brocksterman, who I had on an interview Monday, talked about the bully. Who is the biggest bully you know? Think about that. Who is the biggest bully you know? You. It all starts with us. We are the biggest bully that we know. And we are the biggest person who is our biggest critic. And so what we do is we take everything that we hear, all that outside noise, and we stop ourselves in our tracks from doing the things that we want to do. So it starts with us. It starts with us believing in ourselves and realizing that we have more potential. There is more meaning in our life than what we believe there is. And then once you figure that out, once you get that self-confidence, that desire to build something more, then you have to realize that you can do it. And then what's it take? And a lot of times you end up having all this outside noise that you didn't know you had, because those are the things that stop you. It could be the TV you're watching. It could be people around you. It could be people you work with. Those things could be barriers to you grabbing the bull by the horns and going and moving forward. And you have to learn to let that outside noise stop. Okay? You have to be willing to find that inner peace, that just because they say it doesn't mean that it's true. Just because you say it to yourself doesn't mean that that it's true. I look at this with like weight, right? Like our biggest, like we said, we're the biggest bully of ourselves. So when we look in the mirror, we are the most critical person of anything. Not many people notice the things that you notice. I talked to a friend like 6 months ago about myself and like how I perceived myself, because I'm my biggest critic, how I perceived myself in, what's up, Deandra? In life. Joe, thanks for stopping by YouTube. But how I perceive myself, like looking at myself, gray hair in the beard. I have a few moles on my face. My teeth aren't as white as I want them to be. I have love handles. I have scars. I have all these things that we sit here and we look at ourselves and we perceive ourselves in one way, when 90% of the time, no one noticed that crap. No one sees that. I cut myself in the face shaving, which I haven't shaved in a while, but like I said, I cut myself in the face shaving, and I see that. People don't see that. There are a lot of things that people are not critical of, but we're critical of ourselves, because we've been taught that there are things, there are things that we see in a magazine, we see on TV, we hear from someone else that we should be this way, that we perceive who we are, and that will stop us, and that will be a barrier. And it's funny though. I mean, yes, I do have nice teeth. I mean, I do, but like, again, they could be better. That's what I'm saying. It's like we can always bully ourselves into saying that. And that's the tough part. So we let that be a barrier that stops us from moving forward. It stops us from being there. And it's crazy. People can be their souls. That's one thing they need to be, and don't listen to others. Yeah. And that's the thing. It's easy to say and hard to do. That's the tough part. Like, because you have to in your head, you have to decide that you're not going to listen to the outside noise. And if you can get past that, which it's never easy, like it's not something that you're going to do every day. It's not something that's going to work for you every day. And you may get in one of those moments, like I've gotten in them before, where, and it's okay to get worked up. It's okay to work through it, but don't stay there. Don't be stuck in that moment, because it's a tough thing to get out of if you're critical of yourself. Men of the house in the house. Fear keeps us so much because it's trying to protect us. Yeah, it is. That's exactly what it is. Fear is a bubble, right? If you think about it, it's a bubble that gets put around you that stops you from doing things because you're afraid of doing it. What will happen? There's two types of fear, though, too, right? Fear of failure, number one, because we don't want to fail, right? And then there's fear of success. So what will happen if I do succeed? And I think that's a tough one, right? That's straight from Richard over on TikTok. It's a great way to think about it, though. It's like, this is that bubble that keeps us safe. This fear of not moving forward, of not doing it. But fear of failure, fear of success could be just as bad, because if I do succeed, what am I going to do? What am I going to do with that? And it's amazing what that could be, right? Sorry, just reading a couple things here, trying to come alive. So many different comments. It's funny. Let's see here. Fear of failure becomes fear of success for those who never try anything new. So I think one of the big things is like just knowing that failure is a invitation to try again. The first time that you fail is when you decide that you're not going to keep going, is when you quit. That's when you fail, is when you quit. So, grabbing that bull by the horns, that's what you got to think about. And, sometimes that means taking a different path, right? The hamster wheel. I always go back to the hamster wheel. Like, that's how kind of my brain works. It's like, it's the metaphor, the lesson of what can I do? What can I do to change it? If I didn't do it right, if I didn't achieve it this time, how am I going to go about it the next time? And I don't know. It's interesting. It's the drive that you have to find, and you have to just be willing to take that step and not fail. So that's the message today. Okay. Think about that. Think about what you want, and are you going to go grab the bull by the horns today? Perception versus reality. People perceive you a certain way or perceive things that you do a certain way doesn't mean that that's actually how it is. Remember that. Get out there, keep working, keep pushing hard, and you will make it happen. That's all I can say. Thanks for hanging out with me. We'll do this again tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday show. Keep trying to go every day. Severed Art, what's happening over in TikTok? We have been doing this morning coffee for a while now, 45 days. Just there. Wednesdays, we got the book review with Robert Ars Victorious. Still trying to decide if I'm going to rename that something or not. Motivational Music Hour, Nikki on Wednesdays, every other Wednesdays. Keep moving forward. That's all I can say. If you guys want to support the show, join the Patreon. For as little as $3 a month, you can support the show to help me upgrade the equipment, things like that. Keep it going. We have a couple Patreons, Nikki and Anna Mellon. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being a Patreon. We also have TikTok subs. Nikki's double coverage. Vanna, Twisted D, and Michelle, thank you for hanging out with us as Patreons. Again, sub, don't, hang out. I do this because I love it. Perception versus reality. Someone asked me the other day if I had quit my day job and been doing podcasting full time, and that is not even close to happening. But it is fun to do, and it's something that I want to continue to do. So I'm going to keep doing it. My day job supports me. I always got to do that. And that's where we're going next. Got to go get ready to go to work. Until next time, I challenge you to find the shape of your success.